Ladies and gentlemen, man, this is your boy Arkeith and Jeff from Offbeat Studios Entertainment here, located at Arcadia, Florida. This is the first interview that we are doing with our Small Towns Big Dream series, where we are going around local businesses here in small town Arcadia. Some people just don't know about some of these businesses that's going around. So what we're going to do, we're going to tell you guys about all these businesses, man. So today we are here at the Yellow Deli, right across the street from the Opera House, man. So let's go outside and take a look and see what we can find out. This is Arkeith with Offbeat Studios Entertainment, and I am here with
John Stringer.
John, man. Like I said, this is the first episode of our Small Towns Big Dream series, where we're just going out and we're telling everybody about the local business here in Arcadia, Florida. John, do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Let's go to it.
Yeah, man, I got you, man. I really love the place, man. It's very vibrant. The first thing, that I came in, it felt very old-fashioned. It felt like old-fashioned. So is that the theme that's that we wanted to do when we ever came up with Yellow Deli?
Not so much old-fashioned, but there's a history behind it. If you look at the motif, you'll notice a lot of, everything is basically recycled wood, old wood, recycled wood.
Right.
So our history goes back almost 60 years.
Okay.
We started in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Right.
Now, what you see here, if you look around, you'll see different workers, different people working. All of us who work here, we all live together.
Right.
All right? Mm-hmm. And so the reason we live together is because we're a Bible-based community.
Yes, sir.
So our whole purpose is to live out what we understand in the Bible.
Right.
And the way we live is we actually started doing it, and then we read it in the Bible. We're pretty happy. It's actually what you find in Acts chapters 2 and 4, where the first believers, they actually lived together. They shared everything together. They had everything in common.
Exactly.
That's exactly how we live.
Right.
Everybody in here, you see, we all live in the same house.
Right.
We all live together. We work together. Okay?
Right.
And we have other houses too.
Exactly.
So we started out during the Jesus movement, and that was a parallel movement with the hippie movement.
Right.
Way back in the 50s and 60s. So when we started out, it was sort of at the peak of that of those two movements, and it turned out that we saw that in the institutional churches there was something missing. There was really something missing as far as reality and in the practice of what people were believing.
Exactly.
So a lot of young people were leaving the churches. They were going into communes and all kinds of things in the Jesus movement. So one day we went to a church. We were part of a church. There was a couple. Mm-hmm. They were part of a church. They went to that church and they saw that the church was closed that day.
Right.
And on the door it said there will be no services this evening because of the Super Bowl.
Oh man!
So they said, well, okay, we're not going to continue here.
Right.
So then what they did, they opened their home to having Bible studies. They put up posters around. This is in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Right. Yeah.
And they put up posters around. And so young people started coming. As those young people started coming, they loved what they heard so much in those Bible studies. They didn't want to go home. They just wanted to stay.
Right.
So this was a little place.
Yeah.
Okay, you can sleep on the sofa, the others can sleep on the floor, and
Right.
we'll give up our bedroom, and that was the beginning
Mm.
of a community there,
Right.
but of people who love God with all their heart. So it never became a commune, but it became a very responsible life of responsible people living together.
Right. Family.
So then, yeah, family. So they realized, okay, look, if we're going to live together, we got to eat, and you don't eat unless you work. So
sounds like my mom.
So they found a place that they decided to open up a little restaurant.
Yes, sir.
And that first restaurant was the same as this one is called, the Yellow Deli.
Right.
Okay, that was the beginning of a movement, but I'll tell you, we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Got you.
And they were so poor, okay, that they couldn't buy lumber. They couldn't run down to Home Depot or some other place and get new wood or buy nails, nothing.
Right.
So what they did, they looked around and they found old barns or old things and asked people, can we take this barn down and we'll keep the wood and move it out off your property if it's a problem. They said, oh yeah, we'll be glad for you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So they took these barns down, started keeping the barn wood, and with that barn wood, that was the beginning of the decor for our first Yellow Deli.
Wow.
Now, they didn't have any nails. So you know what they did?
Mm.
They pulled the nails out of the wood, straightened them out.
Right.
Said, hey, don't throw that nail away.
Right.
They started using those
nails.
using
nails,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And so that was the beginning of the Yellow Deli in that sense. And they found yellow paint, real cheap yellow paint.
Right.
But the theme of the yellow is that in yellow there's warmth. You know, God made the sun yellow.
Exactly.
It's warm, it's bright, it draws you.
Right.
And so that's kind of the feeling that we have about our Yellow Deli.
Right.
You'll notice the curtains.
Yeah, yellow.
Yeah. They're yellow.
Yep.
Yellow gingham.
Yep.
And our lights, we try to have ember lights.
Right.
Because of the warmth, it sort of draws people.
Right, exactly.
And that's what we're hoping our life would do, that people would be drawn to us,
it and be warm.
And as they're drawn to the life, but they can actually see that this is the life that Jesus Christ was talking about.
Yes, sir.
In the Bible.
Right.
There's a life where people love each other to the point where they would actually care for each other and make sure each one had everything that he needed.
Right.
And nobody would actually be caught up in selfishness.
Yes.
Because right now, you, me, everybody else in the world, the first thing we learn in school is how to be selfish.
Right.
You know, even before school. We learned that before school. We learned that there's tolerance. Yeah. So then most of education is about how to be the best and how to get the most.
That is correct.
Okay. That's where education is. Most of us, we've been to university, we've been to college, we're from every spectrum of society.
Right.
So we've been there, but we see that the theme of society today that causes society to be in the condition that it's in today is selfishness.
Right.
God saw that, you know. So God is the one who put this kind of life into the hearts of the first believers, Paul and the Apostle Paul and the 12 apostles of Jesus. He put that in their hearts, and they lived together, sharing everything in common. The apostles taught everybody that because that's how they live with Jesus.
That's
with
correct.
Jesus, that's how they live.
Yep.
So they passed on what they knew,
right?
You know, on the day of Pentecost. So then, that's the life that we want to propagate. We want to pass that on. That's what we started way back in the 70s. Back it was around 70 or 71.
Exactly.
Now we've grown from Chattanooga. We're in 11 different countries.
Wow.
Now, if you go from here to say Spain, okay?
Yes, sir.
My wife and I, we spent 2 years in Spain helping there. And you walk into the restaurant.
Yes, sir.
You'll say, I'm in Spain, but man, I could swear I'm back in Arcadia.
Right.
Because it's the same decor, same motif. In fact, that painting there was done by a young lady from the community in Spain.
Wow.
She was here. and she came and did the painting on the wall for
Nice.
us. So this motif, we've decided to keep it. It's sort of a signature design, because what you see in it is that everything that is done in our cafes, we do it ourselves.
Right.
This is not hired work or paid for work. It's what all of us put in there, like the macrame. That's all handwork by members of the community.
Yeah.
So there's a little touch of something from everybody
Right.
in it, and that's what gives it its I guess it's homey feel.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Because it does feel like the first time when I walked in, it definitely feels like at home. You know,
Yeah.
like you even said, you know, the lighting here. It's very like dim, but like with dim lighting, you know, it's almost like a laid back, like, you know, you ain't got to worry about anything.
Right.
Just come on in and enjoy yourself.
That's it.
So that's definitely the vibe that I got every time that I come in here. John, I want to ask you something about
Sure.
the restaurant. I'm asking you your opinion now. I know what mine is.
Sure.
Based off of your clientele, what do you think is the best dish that you guys sell here at Yellow Deli?
I would say Deli Rose.
Deli Rose?
Deli Rose is a big one.
Yeah.
It's a signature sandwich, and I can't tell you off the top of my head what's in it, but all I know is it is delicious.
It's delicious.
There's roast beef in it, corned beef,
Right.
all kinds of stuff.
Yep. Nice.
But
man.
most of our sandwiches, in fact, all of our sandwiches are what we call signature sandwiches.
Right.
They're our own creation. You're not going to find these sandwiches anywhere else in the world.
Exactly.
Except maybe the Reuben.
Right.
The Reuben you might find, because I've heard other people talk about Reuben.
Right.
But the rest of the sandwiches is our creation.
Yes. Yes. I had the chicken sandwich. Jeffrey brought me here one time, and in my
Chicken
first
ranch.
time, the chicken ranch sandwich, and I was like, man, this thing here is just something different, man. You know, the texture, the flavor, man, is just, you know, it's something that you really don't find, you know, maybe at like a Chick-fil-A or something like that.
No
you
way.
can definitely tell
No
that
way.
somebody put, you know, some love into the sandwich, into the foods, man. So
exactly.
yeah, John. So like, is everything that you use are there local ingredients here that you use, or do you guys go like maybe to like a Costco or a Sam's to get your ingredients, or do you guys like know a farmer or something like that you get your ingredients from?
Some things we get from from some local people, but
Right.
most of our things come from restaurant suppliers right now, but not your typical restaurant suppliers. We look for those who have a good reputation.
Got you.
And we look into it and see what the quality is of their products. We do a lot of homework and research before we actually take on a supplier.
Right.
Yeah, because we're serious about giving our customers high quality food.
Stuff. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that's the most important thing. Especially when it comes to business and just people in general. Like, you want to make sure that they have the best quality that you're offering. You know, you don't want to give them anything, nothing that's bad, man, because then it's gonna tarnish your reputation.
Absolutely.
You know, so I don't. You know, people don't want to, you know, go somewhere and then they have a bad experience, and then, you know, that's your clientele.
Yeah.
So, John, I'm gonna ask you maybe like two more questions, man, if you don't mind. What was the proudest moment that you had since you've been here at this location?
Now, you're asking the wrong man. You might want to ask somebody else. I've only been here 2 weeks.
Got you.
Okay. I just came here from Europe, so I've only been here 2 weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So did you so you said from New York? Did you?
No, Europe.
Europe. So were you at a Yellow Deli in Europe? Or?
Okay, I was in one of our communities in the Czech Republic,
yeah,
where we're looking to find a building for a Yellow Deli.
Nice.
So we're in the process to get one, and we have 2 communities there.
Okay.
And we have one where they already have the building. They've already begun the work to get the permit and everything, and we're going to build a Yellow Deli there.
Right.
We got a building.
Yeah.
And then there's another city where we're located, and we're going to start. We've got to find the building to actually start the Yellow Deli there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So he wasn't lying, y'all, when he said they all over the place, man.
Yeah.
They all over the map, man. And I'm just asking you one last question, John, because I know you got to get back to your business.
No
What is the advice that you want to give to people that maybe want to own their own restaurant one day, or their own business, or just in life in general? What's a good piece of advice that you give to the world?
Now, I'm not so sure about ownership, restaurant ownership. That's not something I'm so schooled in myself.
Yes,
there are others who are more involved in the business end of our communities, in our restaurants.
Yes, sir.
More involved than I am. But the advice I would give to anybody is that looking at where society is going today, looking at where our world is going today, especially our young people.
Yes, sir.
This is our primary concern. We're really concerned about the generations coming up right now.
Right.
I would say that if you're an adult already and you have children already, I would say you cry out to God.
Yes, sir.
With all your heart, that God would show you the place where your child can find a place to live by his heart and live according to what God intends for people to have in this earth, or for people to be. Yeah. For young people, I would say, if you're watching, is this video or is this
yes,
just
sir,
radio?
This is video.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
If you're watching this, then I would say to any young person who's watching this video, that I would say to you that you would say no to the things that hurt your conscience, and that you would actually find some time to get somewhere private. And you also do the same thing as the adults I addressed, that you would cry out to God to show you what he has on this earth that would please him, that would save your life.
Yes, sir.
That would actually take you to actually make you the person that God intended for you to be. But that you get on your knees and you cry out for that. And I guarantee you, he's going to show you.
Right.
God is not, he's not an idea. He's a real person. He's really up there. He's really hearing sincere hearts.
Right.
That's what he's looking for.
Right.
So,
yep. One of my favorite scriptures is acknowledge him in all your ways, and he shall direct your path. I preach that to everybody, man, because I live that, so that's one of my favorite scriptures, man. So John, I appreciate your time, man. And John, do you mind telling them where you are located at? The address here.
It's 22 North Polk Avenue.
Okay.
That's where we are.
All right, so you heard him, man. So 22 North Polk Avenue, Arcadia, Florida, 34266. Y'all guys, make sure y'all come by to the Yellow Deli, man. Great food, great people, man. You're gonna have a great time here, man. John, I appreciate you, man. Thank you, man.
Thank you.